Hey, what's up, everyone? This is going to be a review for episode 325 of Naruto Shippuden. Now, I will start off by saying that about half of this episode, or at least about a third of it, really feel like it was kind of, not exactly fillerish, but I guess you could say kind of had that vibe a little bit, or just we're having like a rerun sort of, just because for half the episode, I will say that it kept on going from one battle scene to another, and just kept on going throughout them all, just showing, how the situation is for each battlefield and everything like that, which really does make sense for them to show and everything. But it really just, we've seen that a few times before, and it really makes sense to refresh things like that so you get a good idea of what's really going on. But there has to be at least some of a reason behind it, you see what I mean? And it usually makes sense, especially since it's been like 20 or 30 or 50 episodes since, well, we've seen anything. I wouldn't say 50, but that's too long. But, if it's actually been quite a while, then it makes sense to refresh things. Something like, oh yeah, I forgot about this battle that was going on and all that stuff. And there wasn't really much reason. I don't think it was really that long ago that we had something happen like this, but it did happen for about half the episode. Now, at the beginning of the episode, it starts up, of course, with, all, like the episode last ended, was with pretty much all the other Jinchuriki getting ready to attack Killer Bee and Naruto. Now, when they start attacking and everything like that, one of the things that kind of didn't surprise me is that, I'll tell you guys in a little bit, but Killer Bee was actually quite surprised because when they actually start getting to the fighting and everything like that and actually start getting to the combat and everything, he was actually surprised by like how fast and swift they were and how they just dodged everything, even in ways that were just like impossible. Like you could have not seen that at all. And that's when he started learning, and Naruto started telling him about, like, hey, they have, the Rinnegan and the Sharingan, and the Rinnegan part, it was just like when I fought Pain, where they all shared their visual and everything like that. So they have multiple viewpoints, and they could see every single move that you make. And he was just completely, really, really surprised by that. And when Naruto started really, really, going into it and everything like that, now, Killer Bee was like, how did they do that? Or how did you get rid of the problem? Or at least the actual Eight Tails itself started talking to Naruto. And Naruto started explaining how he got those little black rods that were inside of their body all throughout and everything. And that's how they were able to actually share, be able to be within control of the main one, which is, of course, Toby. Since he's got the Rinnegan, he's kind of, what Nagato was, the one in control and everything like that. And pretty much take out those rods, and that's how you really, really get rid of it and everything like that. And he's like, okay, so just get rid of those. And he's like, have you seen him on any of them? And this one thing I found really funny was Killer Bee was like, oh yeah, I saw it on one person, and it was on, I believe, the only female Jinchuriki. And he said, oh yeah, I saw that black rod as soon as I was trying to look at her. And then that's when the HLs was just like, shut up, and hit him and everything like that, which is really funny. But let's just say there was being more revealed and everything like that than usual. And he saw the black rod there, and it was actually quite smart for them to put him in a place like that so it's like, out of people's sight and everything like that. And from what we've seen, it looks like it's either throughout all their bodies in that same spot, or at least two of them from what we've seen, because later we saw there was a male one, which, shortly after this, Naruto's tried to go attack one and everything like that, and he saw that it was in that spot and everything like that. And he ended up, after, trying to use the Sharingan and everything, because this was the One Tails Jinchuriki, and he was kind of turned to lava, so it was really hard to get to that rod and everything like that. So he pushed harder, and then another Jinchuriki showed up, and bam, just knocked him away. And that was just, it was really unexpected, but, something was about to happen. And anyways, the Eight Tails was, figuring like, we got to do something about this, and, a part of it has to do with that we're in the forest and everything like that, and it's really making our vision very, very narrow, pretty much, when they have full vision all, of every single movement and everything like that. So he figures, make it more open area. I was thinking they were going to leave, but no. The Eight Tails just Killer Bee starts transforming into the full Eight Tails, and the Eight Tails grabs Naruto and pretty much gets ready to pretty much do a crazy attack, which I was still surprised to see this. But the Eight Tails just kind of turn into kind of like a ball, and everything, and they just start spinning around like ridiculously fast. And before you know it, nearly the entire forest, or just like a huge range of the forest, was being spun around and destroyed. And by the end of it, there was a big, gigantic hole. There really, really was. And it was just really crazy to see that. Now, when the Killer Bee, Naruto was like, hey, they're all on the ground. They look like they're really weak right now or worn out. It's a great time to capture them and everything like that. And Eight Tails was telling Killer Bee, like, hey, use the sealing jutsu. And he's like, hold on, you have a sealing jutsu, Killer Bee? And it looks like it's some sort of ink-related thing because of, he's Eight Tails, of course, octopus. And the ink, he made some ink clones, which actually I find that interesting. That actually does fit him quite well. And I'm really, happy to see, that they actually did something that made more sense. And he has some new unique clones that way. Now, what they did was that they, I guess you could say, held onto the Jinchurikis really, really hard and was about to seal them up in oil or ink or whatever. And right when they're about to do that, Naruto's like, yeah, good job sealing. And then it was like, oh, crap. And they all transformed. And then Toby just showed up all the ground while doing a jutsu to transform them. And he was out of the ground. Naruto's like, dang it, he was hiding underground, that coward. Or something like that. And then they all start attacking. And it was getting ridiculous. And they were like in the red kind of Gyubi mode and everything like that, and they were just all attacking the Eight Tails, and the one tail was turning into lava. He was actually summoning lava just in the ground and everything like that, and was like hurting the Eight Tails' hand. And right when Naruto was about to fall in that lava, the Eight Tails, grabbed Naruto and saved him and everything like that. And Naruto was just getting attacked left and right by multiples of them. The Eight Tails didn't feel like he could do much. And he was trying to just get hold of one and everything like that. And, just throughout all those attacks and everything, things were getting ridiculous. And one of them got some sort of stone or something on his back, Naruto's back. And that was actually quite interesting. It was concrete or something like it, or that signifies it. And Naruto pretty much fell down. He couldn't move really much, not when he was about to fall in the lava, but later, he was kind of glued to the Eight Tails' hand, and the Eight Tails looked like he was worn out. He could not move very much after being attacked or anything like that. And right before that, that was when one of the, I think it was the Five Tails, I'm not sure about that, but correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the Five Tails pretty much transformed, not in the red kind of Kyuubi mode, but no, full Five Tails beast and everything like that. And that's what really surprised me to see that, because we did see their tails in the last episode, but seeing that they could fully turn into that is just mind-blowing, because I honestly think, that when they got their chakra and everything taken away, they probably were only left with a fraction of what they had. I'm pretty sure it wasn't enough amount to do this, but apparently it did or something, and it was just crazy. But it's really crazy to see that, just seeing how they're attacking everything like that, and they're being able to use the Rinnegan to share vision, and the Sharingan to track movements very carefully, in very fast pace and everything like that, and catch up to their speeds, and all that stuff really, really well. And just the fact that there's multiple, of these guys, tracking all their movements and everything like that, it's just really crazy, mind-boggling. And they could turn into, their tailed beasts and everything like that, which is just crazy. And seeing that happen, it was insane. I was really actually quite surprised to see that. But, well, actually, I've seen some stuff from mangas and stuff like that, so I kind of knew it was going to happen. But I was still surprised. But later, anyways, Naruto was stuck to its hand and everything, the Eight Tails. And Toby was basically or Obito, it was pretty much just about to get to Naruto. And he says, once I touch your face or get a hold of you, it's over. And right when he was about to touch and grab Naruto, which it looked like it was covering his eyes, kind of like when people die, you press their eyelids down or something like that. Kind of like that, but I don't know why they did it like that. But he did that, and right when it was about to, that's when Kakashi and Bushy-Brow Sensei pretty much showed up and saved Naruto at the last second. And that's kind of how the episode ended. So it was a really great episode. A lot of stuff happened, or at least, not quite as much as I would hope for. Like I said, a good fraction of the episode actually felt like it was like kind of a repeating or something like that. But there was a part where the One Tails, we saw how he died and everything like that. I was still quite surprised to see how they showed that. And it didn't really feel like it really fit anywhere or was going to transition into anything. So it felt kind of pointless. Like they just felt like adding it into the episode. But they did a good job on that. I will say that much. But I give this episode overall a 4.1 out of 5, or just a 4 out of 5. It was good, it could have been better, but actually there were some interesting things, some things made sense, the shadow clone, or the ink clone, and of course that they could go full beast mode and everything like that, which is just crazy. And, he could spin around and destroy a whole giant forest, without, really doing too much, and it was really crazy. And it's great to see this, and I'm really excited to see the next episode to see how Kakashi and Bushy-Brow tried to help out. Even though they're not quite as strong as the Gyubi, or, you know, the tailed beast and everything like that, but they could at least do something. And Bushiroad did go great against, when, on the weird episodes, I don't know what they're called, but against, you know, when Naruto had his, tailed beast cloned by, what's-his-face, Kabuto, so he did a good job on that, you know, so it is quite possible. So I'm really excited to see that episode. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. I'm definitely watching the next episode very, very soon. Sorry, guys, for delivering this video to you guys very, very late. Been very busy with work and everything. Got new internet. It's 8 times faster than my old one. But that's pretty much for today, guys. Thank you guys again for watching. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.